Well, good morning folks, or good afternoon or good evening, depending when you're watching the video. Welcome to the 2023 European Open Beach Championships. This year I've got the honour of fishing it, which I'm very much looking forward to. I know it's something which the viewers ask for every year, and yeah, you've got a day of me fishing it, depending on weather conditions and that, depending whether we'll fish it tomorrow. But it'd be nice to be honest, it'd be nice to do it one day, and at the end of the day, it's not about trying to win it for me. It's about obviously covering it and showing the excitement and what a weekend, because it's something which I look forward to every year, and I know there's anglers throughout the UK and abroad and that will come over and take part in it, and there really is something special about the event. I mean, from the Thursday night through to the Sunday, it's just fishing, and yeah, it's just everything what goes along with it, the atmosphere and the awards and everything else. But we've picked a mark near East Newton, Out Newton, not East Newton, Out Newton, Albury Way. It's somewhere where we fished pretty much over the years from 2013 onwards, really. Hillston is a mark which I quite enjoy fishing. It can be quite tricky to get down, and obviously with the high water, we've looked at it because it's an early morning high water, and we wanted to make sure we didn't get obviously pushed back on the cliffs. Now, where we are at the moment, I've not set my beach buddies up because we've got an incoming tide, about an hour of the incoming tide. So at the moment, all my boxes and that are up of the way. Put our tripods out, so I've got a spot. I'm sat here with my waders at the moment, but there is an opening to the right hand side of us. So worst case scenario, we can move around and obviously be safe. Now, a lot of the coastlines, very high cliffs, clay cliffs. Watch what you're doing when you do take part in the event. I mean, the last thing you need to be doing is stood underneath the cliff and the obviously cliff erosion and stuff. Just obviously have your wits about you and stuff like that, and safety at all times. But absolutely fantastic coastline, and the fishing that they have out here, obviously leading up to the event, I know there was a few good fish pulled out. Been speaking to locals, staying connected with them over the last winter period, and that they've had a good winter. So hopefully it can still stay for the weekend and we can see a lot of fish pulled out. Now, the conditions wise from Tuesday this week is absolutely brilliant, really. It seems to have dropped down completely. It looked very rough out there at the beginning of the week, and I think the wind sort of like flattened it off, and as we can see today, it's fairly flat. So hopefully here's to a good day. So it's just gone 6 o'clock. Normally tell if you're in a good spot when you come across this young man. Hello, Chris.
All right.
Nice to see you again, mate.
Yeah, and you.
Been a couple of years since you won it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 4 years.
4 years, yeah. How do you think for this year then?
Not very optimistic.
No. Reason why?
Beaches have been awful the last 3-4 weeks.
Have they?
Yeah.
It's funny because you had a good winter though on them, didn't you?
Yeah, maybe had 4 weeks spell where it was decent.
Did you?
And then that was it.
Yeah. But it's coloured, but beyond that it don't look too coloured.
No, it's not brilliant.
No. Everybody's in with the same chance though, that's the one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you only need that one fish. And I think there'll be fish pulled out. I was expecting to see it like that there. It's a bit calmer where we are in front like that, but that looks like bassy as hell really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A few bass out, you reckon?
Oh yeah, there will be today.
What do you think will win it? Bass?
Yeah.
Bass will win it?
Yeah.
Not a cod?
No. Well, I might do, but pass.
Skate this year or?
No.
No race?
No.
There you go, guys. But what time did you get down?
About 20 past 5.
20 past 5. There you go. We're up at 2 o'clock. Absolutely freezing. Adam's gone into his bivvy there, and he's gone to sleep on the floor, and it's the worst thing to do.
Yeah, it's not warm.
Cup of coffee, stay awake, because there's a few other anglers coming down now. But yeah, the late ones. But there seems to be a lot of room, really. I mean, this sort of stretch of coastline here now normally gets quite a few anglers, and we fished it in the past, didn't we?
Yeah.
So it's normally one. But where do you think the winning fish will come out from this year? I know you're out
Span,
way sort of way, but
Span Point, Span Road, maybe.
Yeah.
If the weed doesn't turn
Spoke
up.
to a few locals, and they're going down there. They went down there. One of them went down there at 10:30 last night to sit on it.
Yeah, not for me that.
No. And then the other boys I spoke to after that, they were going down about midnight.
Yeah.
That's the trouble.
Well, you have to do it to get your spot down there.
Yeah. But a lot of people would try and go on the bus thing down there, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
On the shuttle.
Yeah.
The trouble is, you get all the way down on the shuttle, people are already there. What do you do?
Yeah, that's it.
Is there? I've never been down there. Is there much room down there then? Or?
Yeah, there's plenty.
Is there?
Yeah, plenty
you
of room.
Fish all the way through there. So,
Yeah.
But you want to get on the end, really, I suppose.
I think it fishes differently, different stages of tide
Does
to
it?
the point to the road. But yeah.
Deep water, fast tides, I suppose.
Yeah, it'll be a lot calmer as well.
Will it?
Yeah, it'll be half the size of that, maybe less.
And the forecast is ideal, really, compared to what it forecasted, because it did forecast not very nice, but the breeze is sort of like turned around a little bit. It's not uncomfortable at all.
No.
We're a little bit sheltered from where we are as well, aren't we? So.
Yeah.
Adam's just got up. Well, good luck today, mate.
Yeah,
all
and
the
you.
best, and hopefully see you back in the wave.
Yeah, hope for that.
Right guys, so got a bit of a waiting game. So for anybody that's want to fish the European Open, things you're going to need: beach buddy, seat box, flask, bait, just your general bits and pieces. We'll go through the box in a minute. Tripod, rod, and measuring stick I've got there. Also I've got a spare rod just in case I damaged an eye. You're not allowed two rods set up at the same time, but you are allowed to bring another rod just in case you damage an eye. I've got ones on the back of my beach buddy there, so I can just basically take the reel off and put it onto a new rod, and away you go again. Also got spare reels in there just in case. Now I'm using 15-pound line today on my Fathoms, Fathom 12s, and I've got a Fathom 15 there with 20 just in case it was a bit rougher. But yeah, we're fishing a back tide, so to speak, and then yeah, a bit of the flood. So yeah, hopefully try and get a bit of distance and get it out past the breakers there. So one of the other things I'm going to talk about is sea conditions. Now the sea condition in behind me at the moment, you can see it jacking up about 80 yards out. So the reason we come here is because yesterday when I looked at it, it looks, compared to a bit other bits on the beach, it looks like there's a drop off there, or a gully of some kind, where it starts jacking the water up. So I'm going to start and try and put my baits in behind the back of that, and then hopefully we can see a few fish out. So as you can see on the left hand side of me now, it's just obviously, there you can see where the water it's breaking. It's obviously a lot shallower, and I'm hoping where we are here we're hitting a bit deeper water. Now to the right hand side of me again, you've got flat seas, so it's telling me that there's some kind of feature out there which hopefully I'm going to be able to get my baits in behind and hopefully see a fish out on. So for anybody obviously coming up for the first time, it is definitely worth going up and down the coastline. Now there's the tackle shops, local tackle shops, you go in, they're all really nice and friendly people. The amount of the help we've had from the tackle shops over the years up this way with advice and where to go and stuff like that, all from the first year I come up was 2013, and yeah, you've sort of like, we always come to the same sort of area really, which isn't necessarily done us any good, but it's just a simple fact. We know where we're going, we know where to fish, and I think a lot of people tend to do that. But where we are today, there's not very many anglers at all. We still got time before it kicks off, but I can see a big group up to the right of me, another one to the thing. So there's probably, I reckon there's about 30 anglers, where you go to some of the other beaches, like Rivensea and that, and it'll be absolutely rammed. Now, we've had a bit of a trek to get to where we come today. We're down the Out Newton, Alba area, And yeah, we come here yesterday, had a look around, and yeah, it's a bit of a trek, but it can pay off if obviously we get that fish we're after. I know there's been fish had like last year, Cowden fish very well, so it's one of them. You've got to be in it to win it. And we looked at the spot, and yeah, we're here and we're going to give it a go. So that's all you can do at the end of the day, guys. It's just being it to win it, I suppose. But I think there's going to be a few fish out today. I think there's going to be a few cod out today, definitely. Obviously the temperatures is absolutely freezing, but it's all part and parcel of the event. But I did forget, I've got like a warm mat, what I've got from Go Outdoors. Normally I bring it and put it down, and you get a few hours sleep on the floor. Adam's tried to get to sleep, and it's not going to do you no good because your body just get freezing. But yeah, it's all part of the fun of it. So you're just up and about chatting to friends, and obviously I've just bumped into Chris Fisher. We haven't seen him for very long, so we've had a good chat and that. But Steve Ford's ready to rock and roll, Adam's ready to rock and roll, and yeah, hopefully we can see a few fish out today. But we'll get into go through the general tackle we need. Seat box. Seat box is going to be your best friend, and I mean it. It just enables you to sit down comfortably for, depending on what time you want to get on the beach and that really. But yeah, I would definitely advise the seat box. Obviously inside then, I've got basically a couple of carrier bags, bit of packed lunch, bag with some leads in it, rig wallet, I've got a fish bag, headlight definitely needed, spare battery, got a few cans for drink just in case you need baiting needles, a spare reel, extra clothing. Because I've got rigs made up, I haven't gone mad with bringing loads of bits and pieces. I've got some rig clips in there just in case I get a crack off. I've got some spare line, I've got coffee for the flask, some bait elastics, I've got a baiting needle, some clips, some spare shock leader, and some sandwiches, some spare hooks, spare trace line, and some sunglasses. So we'll put all this back in quickly, and I'll pull the rigs out. So I'll leave that on there. Fillet knife, scissors, the scourger, pliers, and then lead-wise, it's clean ground. You don't really necessarily, because we've got a bit of a walk, I ain't gone mad. So I basically got two 175s and two 150 gram leads. Grippers, that's all I need. Then I've got a rig wallet here, okay? So I've got a rig wallet there, and on the bottom I've got some place rigs, what I had made up for a thing. I've got some 4-0 pulley rigs there. And then I've got some, that's the place rigs I've made up for when I get back home. I've got a couple of 3-0 clip down rigs. You've seen the rigs I made the other day, guys, so it's basically, I've got them, the running up and overs. I've got some spare hooks, some Sakuma hooks there just in case I need to change my hooks. And that's basically it, really, from that sort of view. Got my beach buddy there, warm clothes, and then pretty much that's all you need to rock and roll. But one thing I definitely can recommend, flask, 100% needed. Obviously this time of year it's going to be freezing cold up here, and to be honest, I've got another one at home I'm going to bring tomorrow to put some soup in. It just keeps you warm. I mean, you sit on the beach for hours obviously waiting to start, and it just keeps you warm. But we're going to go on the baits now. Okay guys, so baits, I've gone very overkill here. I'm fishing one rod. To be honest, I've got Joseph's brother next to me, and Adam and Steve, they're sharing bait as well. So we've got a bit of squid, so we've got a bit of bloody squid from Hooker's Baits, a bit of scent. To be honest, if it looked, I was going to bring a bit more squid today, just on the chance that it was rougher seas to go for a bass, then I would have put a whole squid out and then played that card, so to speak. I've got some other squid there for teeing off. I've got some other little squid heads and stuff like that there for teeing off. Bits of bluey. Now bluey, it's another fantastic cod bait. If you're fishing for rays or anything like that, it's one to have there ready. I mean, whatever I don't use today, I can use tomorrow. Bit rougher tomorrow. And now these are going to be the key really. What I found over the years is a lot of people use yellowtails, a lot of people use crab, a lot of people use different things. What I've found from the locals, especially, white rag seems to be something what they love to get hold of, but this is what you want. Known up in these parts as slaps, but a lot of us down our neck of the woods will know them as black lug, and yeah, I've had them up here for the week. I've been obviously changing the newspaper and stuff with them, but basically you slap them down like that and you can see them all move up and they just start to harden up. Then basically what I'll do one here now while I'm here, is get the baiting needle and then basically put them right down through like so. I don't use massive baits up here. I mean, when we first used to come up here years ago, we used to fish exactly the same as we did at home. And what I've found is, only from watching the locals and watching for some of the better anglers that we fish in the event, obviously we've got to do some bits with Chris Fisher, we've got to do some stuff with Paul Med over the years, and obviously George Smith and that, and they don't use massive baits. And I think the reason being, it's a match style themed competition. And even though it's single biggest fish, you need to catch fish. And if you put too big hooks on, it's going to restrict you from catching bigger fish. Where if you put a smaller hook on, you'll catch a smaller fish, but you also catch a bigger fish. Now, I've got Sukumas on today, but I know they're big fans of the Kamazan hooks. Obviously, very, very strong at the same time. And yeah, so basically what I'd probably do with that is put 1 or 2 of these on. I'll do another one while I'm here. So these are all wrapped up. That looks a nice one. A lot of people use a single worm. I'll just slap it down there. You can see it straight away start to harden. Okay, and then what I'll do is basically put that one down there through. I'll use 2 worms. I won't have a massive bait. If it looks too big when it's on the hook, I'll take a bit off. And then that one there, guys, it's ready to rock and roll. Put my hook with the rig on in a bit later on, and yeah, away you go. But yeah, plenty of blacks. Definitely needed. You don't want to come short at the end of the day when you come up here. I know obviously the cost of travel, accommodation and stuff like that, but if you're coming up, it is definitely worth taking it seriously. And I know full well along the stretch of coastline, throughout this coastline over this weekend, you have guys going out of their way. I know I spoke to a few guys what have travelled to Wales recently just to get white rag to fish this event. Obviously dirty water, whether it works or not, but I know from past, I know Chris Fisher likes the blacks, I know Paul Med, he also likes the blacks. Paul will use a crab as well, squid, whatever works really, but everybody's going to have their sort of like way of fishing, and yeah, I'd rather have everything here. And if the conditions turn that it looks bassy, I can put a whole squid out or put half a bluey out. You know what I mean? Or if it looks more coddy, I can start fishing cod baits. So no matter what, I think a few fish will be had out, and I'm looking ready to getting started. We've got a few hours yet, so I'm going to go and have a little natter with some of the lads. Just try and keep warm really. And to be honest, the wind's looking all right at the minute. Bit chilly on the feet, but I'm sure as the day goes on that'll warm up, and obviously moving around casting and that, let's get in some fish hopefully. Right guys, so I'm going to start with the running up and over here where I am at the minute. Might shorten down the trace a little bit, but yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a couple of rigs out, prepped, ready to rock and roll. If I can have 3 rigs made up at the beginning, then all I've got to do is concentrate on the bites. Obviously you've got a lot of time before the kick-off at the minute, so why not? So we'll go through, we'll get 3 of them up in there a minute. It's ideal having them made up, you can do everything. To be honest, I quite enjoy, before I come up, sitting down and getting my gear ready, making the rigs up. I mean, everything's ready to go then. When you're away, you can just enjoy it, can you? Instead of sitting having to do rigs and stuff. So, get these blacks out here. There's a couple of blacks there. Lovely. Right.
So start with one of them. I'm going to start with the 150s and see how they hold. If they don't hold too good, then I'll put on the bigger one, bigger lead. So that's basically it. They're not massive, they're quite short to be honest, but it's exactly what I want really. So what I've done is I've offset the hooks as well. Just pull the sequin back off a little bit, like so. Get these Gemini baiting needles in like that, and literally add pressure, and then you just bring the black straight up over the hook like that. Expose the hook point there like so. I can bring the sequin back. It's little compact cod baits really, that's all you need. Got some squid here from Hooker's Baits. Up a bit of squid like that, and what I tend to do with that then is I'll just nip it halfway through and then I'll turn it around. And what I'll do now is get the soft elastic, if it'll come out of the but it's not going to come out the thing, it's going to play games now, won't it? Some of that in there. I bought these the other day off the internet, these elastics. I thought I'd try them for the first time. They're quite nice actually, they're quite soft. But I don't know what I've done with that one. I'll get another one out. I did have a soft one there a minute ago. So soft, super fine. Let's have a look at this one, shall we? I'll put that in the bag so it don't blow off. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. All I'm going to do, I'm not going to go mad with the bait elastic. I'm just tying it around the squid. Really, just to hold it in place. So, and there it is. What I'll do that sequin is I'll pull them up a little bit. I am going to add a little bit to this worm. To be honest, we've been up all week and we haven't managed to get out due to the weather at the beginning of the week. Lovely. It's perfect. Just a small compact cod bait there, a little bit of squid to tip it off with, single work, hopefully to find a cod. So that's my first rig done. Normally I've got a rig bar, for some reason it's not on the tripod that I've brought, it's on my Ever-Rayan tripod. I've got about 4 tripods at home. I've got two what I've used for the Bristol Channel, and I've got this one here what I tend to use off the rocks, and unfortunately I ain't got it on that one. I picked up the wrong one. But exactly the same again now. So get the lead clip on. There it is. Pull that back up the line. And then get a couple of these blacks and slap it down like that. Starting to harden up straight away. It's good. That one's lovely. Look at that. Lovely. Right. What I'll do with these, I'm putting 2 worms on in a minute. But if I'm not getting bites, I'll scale down and just try a single worm. But to be honest, last year when me and Adam was having the match and that, what I found is, and the same as the previous year, the smaller the bait, the more bites and more fish I was producing. Strange, really, innit? I mean, down our neck of the woods, you want a nice cod bait. That's perfect for a cod. You know what I mean? Absolutely perfect. But I was using smaller baits than that, and it was getting bites. So you just got to experiment, guys. For those who are fishing for the first time up here. So I've got a 3.0 Sakuma Manta Extra on there at the minute, but the Kamazans, as I said, is a hook one. I know what a lot of the guys use up here, very strong. Yeah, lovely. Just thread the last bit of that up on the worm like so. He went tough straight away, this one. Lovely. To be honest, I'm not going to add nothing with that. That bit of black there, I'm not doubling up on that one. He's hardened up straight away. Just going to put a bit of squid on there with that one. Just to tip him off. Same with the bait elastic. Got to see what one I was using now. Don't think it was it that one? Yeah, it looks a bit lighter than that other one. Yeah. Just gonna put that in there like so. I'm not going overkill with bait elastic, guys. Just basically just to bind the squid on, really. Like so. Obviously a sequin and the bait stop up the top. That is what I was using last year. See, it's a bit different than that. That's a lot more bigger, bulkier bait, but that is what was producing me last year. Just small single worm, a little bit of squid. I mean, he's flapping around in the tide. Job done. So that's basically it. I'll bait my third one up now. I won't bore you with that. See, the anglers are starting to move down with the tide now. Getting ready. We've got about half an hour to kick off, and then hopefully the 2023 European Open, we'll see a few cod out. Well guys, a few minutes to go, rigs all ready. What I tend to do with the rigs is I put them in a bait bag, just in with the squid there. They're all ready to rock and roll, they're hung up on the rig then, and then I can put them in there like that, just take one out as I'm needed. So I've started off with running up and over rig. We've got a little bit of room where we are, there's no one to the left hand side. I've got Joseph's brother to the left hand side of me, and we're going to make use of that and try and move the baits around a little bit. So I'm going to go for a 150 lead just to start with, just to try and create some movement, and we can see where the water's breaking in the background around 160, 170 yards out. So hopefully we can try and get some casts out there over the back end of it to try and pick up some cod. Basic up and over, running up and over rig, and I'm not sure what time it is. Let's have a look, shall we? 2 minutes to rock and roll. 2 minutes to rock and roll. So little video we done first thing this morning, just uploaded. It was absolutely freezing on the beach first thing. We're all quite warm now, but it's all part of it, guys, getting here early. Normally, years ago, we used to come up, we'd have bacon and eggs all on the beach, and yeah, just enjoy it really. But due to obviously the film equipment and everything else, it's a lot to bring down and carry back and that. So yeah, just unfortunately just sandwiches today. But yeah, we've got 1 minute to go. Everybody's itching. Everybody is itching. Nine o'clock kickoff. Anglers are getting ready to rock and roll. It's a bit on this really, especially when we're doing the interviews and that, is the hype beforehand. And I'm enjoying the fishing it this year. Here we go, 9 o'clock. Let's get the rods out. Good luck, everyone. Right, guys, so gonna get one out. Well, first casts are on the way. Everyone down to the left-hand side of me. Yeah, that's what it's about, guys. That's what we're here to do. People come from all around Europe to take part in this event, and it really is something special. Using the Zolkron X GT14. It's a glass tip rod. I think it's 14 foot in length with a casting weight of 180 grand. And I've been using it on the reef and that recently. But I'm looking forward to fishing with it up here, to be honest. You've got the bite detection there straight away. Because of obviously where it's jacking up out there, I've got my rod higher. So hopefully try and get the lines up over that and not buried, because obviously the trouble is when your sand starts burying your line, that it could cause damage and stuff. We're using 15-pound line, we don't need that. So let's just wait for that bite now then.